welcome back to another edition of the John Wayne Surge Protector Podcast, a 60/40 production. I'm Eric Halsey.
I'm Alex Midway, and we both still have our jobs, so we're able to keep doing this little podcast for the people.
Yep, but just like everything else in this administration, no clue what Monday brings.
We also don't know what we're doing, too, so it's very presidential-like over here.
Yeah, turns out this whole DEI thing might not have been that bad after all.
You got anything new in the wedding planning? It's that's always fun to check in on.
Yeah, Tuesday's going to be a fun little juggle. Got engagement photos and hopefully save the dates coming out here a week or so after.
Engagement photos? Didn't you already get engaged?
We did, and now we have to have photos to prove it.
Didn't I literally go to a party that celebrated your engagement with a lot of pictures being taken there?
Also, yes, but this is a thing that has to happen for some reason.
Fair enough. It sounds like something that's being loved by both sides of the party here.
I love everything about this.
Just a bipartisan movement to get pictures is what we're getting at here.
Yeah, evidently we have to have these photos taken so we can put them on the save the dates and send them out. And then, I don't know, we'll find something else that's even more expensive later. I don't know.
I was going to say, I mean, maybe the priority is just get these things out to save a date to let people know where it is.
Yeah, I think, so we got engaged in May, right, last year. So I think we were all under the impression that the economy was just going to do nothing but go up as we were planning this out. And things are not going great in the economy right now, which nobody saw coming.
The Dow did hit 50K.
It did. It wasn't the day that we decided to pay this photographer, but, you know.
Well, I mean, we do give a little bit of financial advice on here, and one of the things I will never give financial advice on is to buy Tesla stock because it went from 370 to 360, and deliveries are lower than expected. I'm like, I don't know, man. Your owner's still a South African Nazi sympathizer, if not a full-on conspirator. But if you were smart and you did listen to me when I told you to buy Swarmer at $25, you'd be sitting on $65 today. And hell, even if you bought it this morning at $45, you'd still have a 44% return. So, I don't know, man. Maybe invest in a Ukrainian drone company?
I'm actually going to buy a little bit of Tesla stock. And I'm sure Elon will do something in a K-hole this weekend where he's like, our robot is Jewish. And all of a sudden the stock market's going to be like, Tesla hits 475 for no reason whatsoever. I'm going to bank on the chaos.
You're just gambling with your future with a one-armed bandit versus advice from a buddy. You're like, hey man, if you go to work and get this job, it's what's that Key and Peele skit? He's like, I found this one way we can make money. He's like, yeah. He's like, there's this bank. He's like, all right. So we just walk in the front door day in and day out. And after 20 years, we retire. He's like, that's called a job.
Yeah, job. No, it's, I don't know. I see the logic you're using in your stock tips here, but logic need not apply in this administration. So I'm riding the roller coaster.
I mean, the guy who placed the Kalshi bet about the strikes in Iran just placed a Kalshi bet about a ground invasion. There's another stock tip for you. Oh no, it looks like Eric is currently in the process of dying hearing so much information.
Jeepers creepers. I was so enthralled with what you were saying that this coffee went down the wrong hole, and now I kind of want to die.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Whew. Thank you, Nespresso.
This episode,
not a sponsor, but they could be.
Before this becomes a snuff video, let's finish up here and jumping over to Honey Badgerstan. It's a little bit of bad news. Russia took full control of the Luhansk region, according to Russian reports, and nothing's been countersaid by the Ukrainians about it. Also, the Ust-Luga was not hit today, so they're taking a day off on now, and a whole bunch of L's. But I don't know, man. Like, I honestly thought they already took it over. But they had 99% of the day, so they got the whole thing. As far as a region they annexed back in 2022, like it took them until 2026 to actually take the whole thing over. That's got to say something for them.
Yeah, in a war that was supposed to be over and done with in 3 days, and then like 3 years later, it was supposed to be done in 1 day. You know what? held on pretty long, and if I know our boy, he's got something in the works nobody's thinking of yet.
I mean, they essentially, what they say, it's Russia currently controls less land in Ukraine right now than they did when they first started the invasion 3 days in.
Are we sure Trump's not also running Russia?
I mean, no, it's the other way around. It's the spigot flows from the Kremlin to us. It's not from us to the Kremlin.
Either way, it seems like kind of even like this is like the losingest win, I guess, is the way I'm interpreting. Also, did I buy you that shirt?
Shut up, Chris Collinsworth. You may have, but this exact one came from a buddy of mine from down in the South.
You have other friends?
Huh?
You have other friends?
I've got 2 others. It's a short list.
I didn't know this was an open relationship, but pin in that.
I'll take my free things wherever I can get them. But moving right back along, the Kremlin also said on Wednesday that they reiterated its demands that the Ukrainian forces withdraw from all of Donetsk. And obviously, Kyiv has repeatedly told them, go F yourselves. Because this kind of goes in line with the same thing Marco Rubio was saying about that they need to give up this area. Then we can talk about some kind of protections. And like Russia came out and said, like, yeah, that's exactly what we want. So it kind of makes Rubio's speech of like, no, we never said that. It's just a whole load of BS.
Yeah. Let me clarify here. That was precisely what Rubio said, like verbatim, word for word. This is exactly what Rubio said.
It's kind of like the peace agreement they first did, and they Google translated from Russian to English, and like, no, we had nothing to do with a report here. Like, you signed it with a Russian presidency. Like, whoops.
I mean, this is what happens when you send real estate nepotism, nepo babies to negotiate peace. I don't even understand what's happening anymore, man.
Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner are our representatives overseas, but some of you might be screaming that we have TDS because we're always talking about the Russians running the joint, and the world's run by the U.S. and clearly not the Russians. And just an unrelated thing came over via wire here. Russian tanker Anatoly Kolotkin docked at the Cuban port of Matanzas with 730,000 barrels of oil, making it the first time in 3 months that an oil tanker has reached the island. So, as we told you in the previous episode, USS Vlad has finally arrived, and they're now getting ready to send a second oil tanker to Cuba. And which is nuts because when you remember in late January, our wonderful president said that there are tariffs on any country that sells supplies to Cuba. And it's a hell of a blockade, boys. You keep it going.
Honestly, I'm kind of shocked we're allowing it to happen. I still don't really understand why we were hell-bent on starving Cuba out. But I'm glad cooler heads have prevailed, and Russia and Iran can get some more money.
Yeah, but it's
nothing happening with either of those guys. It's questionable.
I mean, the reason they want Cuba is it's the Pokemon thing of wanting to control this hemisphere. That's why the whole thing about as far as Greenland. That's why Venezuela, like anyone around you want to be able to control them. That's why we had the 51st state. It's the dumbest thing on the planet, but it's why it's being done.
Yeah, I saw somebody tweet out, you're like, guys, do you think he only wants this so he can create the new flag for America?
Yeah. We had the joke with one comic, like, you can't let him get another state.
Yeah.
But
I hate it.
In case you're wondering about how the whole war over in Iran is going, it's an Iranian ex-official involved in the peace talks was just bombed. So, if we're keeping track, a negotiator, they bombed his home. And the guy's name he used to be Iran's foreign minister, Kamal Karazi. And clearly he's not qualified for work because he never did any real estate deals or any action in the crypto sector. But someone bombed his house, killed his wife, and put him into the hospital. We're about a stolen car and a dead dog away from a John Wick Middle Eastern reboot. I'm not naming any names, but who could possibly be in favor of stopping negotiations between U.S. and Iran to end this war?
Careful. Even implying makes you anti-Semitic.
I
as we've
mean,
recently learned.
I'm just tossing it out there. When you keep nuking negotiators who are trying to stop a war, like that's usually done by people who don't want the war to stop.
Well, yeah, I was always under the impression if somebody has the word negotiator like anywhere in their title, it's kind of like one of those like it's a given white flag moment. Like it's
Given
like
the fact that
press or medics, or everyone else having a great time over there.
it's not even a week back that Israel went ahead and blew up 3 reporters. So, whoopsie.
Yeah, well, you know what? Honestly, though, if we're being serious, if that's the only thing Israel's doing right now, it's probably it could be a lot worse. You know what I mean?
We'll get into a little bit of that on the back end, but
Oh, there's more?
yeah, it's definitely something that they get into towards the back end. It's
All right.
I had to
Can,
bring that up, but
can end that.
yeah, it might not have been Israel because what's his name? Kamal did say that Trump has been deceiving others and not keeping his promises, and we experienced this in the first 2 times of negotiations. That while we were engaged in negotiations, they struck us, and it also goes to like the whole thing of how this war started. Like they were having negotiations in it was one of the neutral countries. I forget when, but what and like the Oman people from Oman are like, yeah, man, they're pretty productive right here. And then next day, we're dropping bombs on them. So it's part of a deal, I guess. Just keep them guessing.
Yeah, we're never getting out of this. Like this is going to go longer than Iraq, right?
I mean, we're getting out of it as far as as reopening the Strait of Hormuz. Our president's a child. He goes in there, breaks everything, and he's like, man, this place sucks. And like he came out and he's like, you'll have to start learning how to fight for yourself. The USA won't be there to help you anymore, just like you weren't there to help us. Iran has essentially been decimated. Hard part's done. Go get your own oil. And like the UK Prime Minister, Keir Starmer's out there. He's leading a nation of, leading a coalition of about 40 other nations to reopen the strait. And Trump keep bringing up this whole thing like nobody joined me in this war. Like again, Article 5 protections are protections if you get attacked, not if you go start a fight.
Yeah, and just to be clear, because I don't feel like it's brought up enough, Article 5's only been called upon one time in the history.
Yes.
And it was us. And you know what? Everybody came. And they were like, all right, now we're going to do it again.
Like, does it work if we attack someone? Like, no, man. He's like, you guys suck as allies.
Disagree.
So,
BB, do it again.
but I mean, the whole thing is like Iran does have like a list of friendly countries that they're still cool with. So anybody who's flying in India, Pakistan, Malaysia, or a Chinese flag on their ship, they're also allowed to go out there. And a lot of other countries are out there trying to make deals to let their ships go through the strait. And honestly, I thought it was going to be game recognizes game and the master negotiator is going to get us a master deal with Iran. But at the end of the day, if this thing does end, we're going to end with Iran asking for a whole like tariff toll on any ship that's going in there. So price is going to be higher when it used to be free beforehand.
So I read something and honestly wasn't paying that much attention to it, but evidently Iran passed this whole toll booth thing like as law. Like it's not like, an executive order or Ayatollah order or whatever it is. Like they passed it through their like parliament. I don't know what they have over there. But evidently it's straight up law now, which is even, from what I read, way harder to disassemble.
I mean, who's going to say no to charging, like, the country that's currently saying, I'm going to carpet bomb you, a toll for them to get oil to, again, carpet bomb you? Like, it's a pretty popular opinion. Like, guys shooting at us, like, are they a-holes? Like, oh, yeah, like, cool.
But no, the article I was reading was like strictly like for the future. They were like, this toll thing's going to be permanent. Like it's not once all this is over and done with, price of a brick's going up because everybody's going to have to pay this toll from now till eternity.
Yeah, and like people are screaming about it. They're like, oh, you can't do that. You can't charge a toll. I'm like, I don't know, something, Panama Canal. They do that. Like, Iran's been sitting on this thing. I'm like, yeah, man, we're fine. He's like, you're building nuclear weapons. This is Bibi Netanyahu, 1995. But it's like, they're just sitting there. They have this told, like, we'll even limit how far our freaking rockets go. Like, just not to make you guys angry. Like, leave us alone. And they're like, F them. Go bomb that place. Like, God.
Yeah. For those of you paying attention, BB's saying they were about a month away from nuclear capabilities when Korn debuted their self-titled album. So just to put a little perspective on it.
Like, I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of going towards the camp of giving Iran a nuke. Because then nobody messes with you. Like, we always talked about the Rocket Man, North Korea going nuts and everything else. Like, they're just sitting there launching missiles into the water. Like, no one's really invading them. Like, I think that's the way you get people to stop invading. Like, everyone's got a nuke.
So you're going with the 2A argument.
You know?
What if everybody just had a gun? Nothing would ever exacerbate.
How do you stop a bad guy with a nuke? A good guy with a nuke. It's very simple.
Well, there's so many, even if you outlaw nukes, there's so many bad people with nukes that we just leave ourselves. So now we have to arm to the teeth all the time.
Guys, we can't legislate this. It's like we just need to let it happen.
I would like to know what mind control Halliburton used to get us all on this whole stupid train of like, no, we just need more.
Yeah. Well, let's keep paying $2 million of Patriot missile. Like, Ukraine's selling them for $2,000. Like, F those people. They're a bunch of Nazis.
Yeah. BB told me so.
But again, going back to this whole thing, now we've got Donald talking about, like, we're getting out of NATO. This place sucks. Nobody wants to help me. And it is a completely, like, taco level S, because a while back, a White House official came out and told Newsweek that the United States didn't need help from Spain or anyone else. It's like, the United States military is meeting or surpassing all of its goals under Operation Epic Fury. And like, every week they're saying is like, this is a 2-week operation. Like, again, we're over a month there right now. And 2 weeks, like, getting the same Russia vibes.
Getting the same Tesla vibes.
It's like, never let them know your next move. Like, you don't even know your next move. Like, that is very true. Both can be correct.
Exactly. Art of the deal.
I cut the brakes, wild card, and just jumped out the back.
Sharpies.
But as far as NATO allies are going, Spain, Switzerland, and France have all closed out their airspace to U.S. planes that are going to war. Italy went ahead and denied U.S. bombers from landing at its base in Sicily. Like, it's not a popular war, and I kind of liken it to the fact, like, your one buddy coming back and he's got syphilis, but then he taps you on the shoulder and be like, hey, man, why don't you go hook up with that girl? Like, no, man, it doesn't seem fun down there.
Yeah, I agree. All these countries are nerds. Nerds.
USA.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And for Mr. Fart of the deal, if all of our allies are saying you can't come into our space, what do you think that's going to do for trade and the economy?
Well, we don't need them.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. We make everything here.
We make all our own tchotchkes. The Trump phone. I can look up all this information on my Trump phone.
I listened to him talk for about 8 minutes straight about Corinthian leather. Corinthia is not in Idaho.
Until we set one up there. I mean, it's the same thing that Putin did. Like, apparently, like, champagne, the only thing you're allowed to call champagne is when it comes out of Champagne in France. But Putin's like, F you, I'm going to call my sparkling wine champagne too. Like, fair enough. Like, we're going to get a Corinthian Idaho leather farm.
Did you know that, speaking of things close to my heart, Miller High Life not sold in France because it says champagne of beers? You cannot get a Miller High Life in France.
I mean, start importing them.
You can't.
Oh, you can when you put it in your suitcase and you fly over there and you sell it for $60 a can.
Buddy, if we're going to do it, let's do it soon, because I have a feeling we're just not going to be able to go to France for a while.
I mean, we're going to have our Canadian backpacks. It's the only way we're crossing into there.
Yeah, the kid we've bullied our entire lives all of a sudden now has a giant set of nuts. It's just using logic and trashing everybody. When did they become the tough guys? It kills me.
France is doing cool things, but
Yeah,
did
they
you
are.
see what's it called? Another Marco Rubio presser in his ill-fitting shoes?
I saw one about him talking about Iran. Is this it?
No, this is the one on NATO, and he's like, NATO sucks. It's like, why do we? I mean, why do we have all these bases down there to protect them? And when we need something, they're closing up these bases, and this sucks. Like having U.S. bases in Europe doesn't just benefit the Europeans. Like, let's not pretend that we didn't use those bases to quote unquote spread democracy through a lot of other nations. Like it's been done. And one thing that Rubio did bring up, he's like, yeah, when this is all done, the president's going to have to make a decision and whether to leave NATO. That's a little bit tricky because there's something called Section 1250A Alpha. And it's part of a fiscal year 2024 National Defense Authorization Act, which prohibits the president from pulling out of NATO. So back in 2024, we're like, oh, this guy's a psycho. Like, we got to put something in here that stops him from coming in. And in order for a president to pull out of NATO, he would need 2/3 of Senate or an act of Congress. Do you know who introduced this bill?
I do not.
Well, it was Senator Tim Kaine of Virginia and Marco effing Rubio. He literally introduced the bill to stop Trump from pulling out of NATO. He's like, well, now he's got a big decision ahead of him.
So, do you think Rubio ends up being a suicide, or do you think he actually ends up at the Hague?
Suicide.
Okay, yeah, I'm kind of going that way too. Like the life's gone in his eyes,
Uh-huh.
and I just every day he looks worse and worse and worse.
Yeah. What I
I
saw
did not
him,
know he was the one who introduced this bill, though. That's awesome. What a moron.
when he started speaking, you could tell he's like, I have to do what? He's like, God. And he's talking so fast, like he's reading off a cue card. He's like, I just got to get through this. I hope you guys are fact checking. Like, please don't fact check. Please don't fact check.
Like a picky child holding his nose, trying to eat whatever they don't want for dinner as fast as they can. Is God, you almost feel bad. You almost feel bad for him.
No.
But we're ever since Elon said empathy is a weakness, I just said, well, screw it.
You've got plenty of money. Like you're selling yourself out for this, and it's like I can't justify it.
Well, make sure it's a load-bearing beam, buddy.
Just walking into an open elevator shaft after stabbing yourself in the back 6 times. But speaking of crazy stuff, and I alluded to this one earlier, but Jesus Christ, Israel, what in the name of some Stockholm Syndrome is up with you? Because the Israeli parliament approved the death penalty for Palestinians convicted of murdering Israelis. And they passed this law, and the place erupts with cheers. And Israel's Minister of National Security, Itamar Ben-Gvir, and apparently he's very far right, remember when Uvalde got shot up and all the Republicans came in with AR pins?
Yes, I do.
This guy has a lapel pin of a noose. So when I didn't think it could get worse, it got worse. But he's out there. He also, afterwards, there's another video of him posting up a chamber, and he's like, oh, check it, and it's all in like Hebrew. I can't understand anything, but the camera's on him, opens the door, and he's like, check this out. And it's literally just a set of gallows. Like, not even Hitler went on the state TV and talked about, like, gas chambers. Like, he's like, Jews are cancerous, yada, yada, yada. No more Jews if you elect me. And this guy's just making hype videos for, like, murdering people. It makes no sense.
Yeah, no, honestly, it makes perfect sense. Somebody leaked a video of a Palestinian prisoner getting gangbanged by a bunch of IDF soldiers, and they went after the person who leaked it.
Yeah, the prosecutor, yeah.
Like, and now you're thinking like, well, noose pins is probably, that's probably a step too far. Like, no, they've been too far for a while now.
Did you send me a video the other day where it's with the Israeli IDF guys like, no, you go ahead and go that way.
Yes.
He goes 20 yards, gets popped.
Yeah, because he wanted to practice long-range firing.
Yeah.
Just the sociopathic BS going on over there. Like what? You can't call it anything else but a genocide.
Like, the worst thing is, like, the guy there, he's like, I'm probably going to get shot. He's like, you know what? they're videotaping and and he walks away with his arms up in the air. He's like, I am not going towards any effing gun whatsoever. It's like when everyone posts online, it's like, I am not feeling suicidal, nor do I have any kind of drugs inside my house. Like, he knows what's coming. And like he gets 20 yards away. He's like, all right, maybe I'm free, and just gets pop.
Yeah, it's a tough watch, but honestly, I you didn't have to like 'cause, I can't understand anything they're saying. I didn't need the AI subtitles to tell me which was which side.
Yeah. Like, it's insane. But looking into this bill real quick, it instructs military courts to hand out the sentences to those convicted of murdering an Israeli as an act of terror. And spoiler alert, they're all going to be acts of terror. And such courts try only West Bank Palestinians who are not Israeli citizens. The bill also says the military courts can change the penalty to life imprisonment, but only in special circumstances. So we'll let you spend the rest of your life in there, but it's got to be really special. Like, one of the arguments that they make about this is the fact that the West Bank is not even sovereign Israel territory. It's the way that I kind of equate this to is if we start getting a bunch of religious fanatics, sending them over to Greenland, calling the natives terrorists, and anytime one of them resists us going into Greenland, we go ahead and put them in the gallows. Like, that law makes no sense, but it would probably pass in here right now.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw that with Preddy and Renee Good, where they were like, nope, domestic terrorists. Clearly.
This broad tried to kill this guy by running her car into him. Like, she was going 5 miles an hour. And then you shot her, she slumped, and her foot went onto the gas. At that point, she accelerated 20, but she was trying to get away.
Yeah, but domestic terrorists nonetheless. So what are you going to do? No,
we need justice.
I honestly feel I feel dirty reading these stories and seeing these videos. Like, it's not fun. The internet was made for porn and hilarious memes, not watching live executions like it's faces of death.
I thought we went past that one. And the fact that we're sponsoring, my tax dollars help pay for those rounds.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty brutal. But flipping it back stateside, the hits just keep on coming for former head of the DHS, Kristi Noem, fresh off getting fired last month for sucking in every possible way. Now, Kristi has another headache in the form of her cuck husband, Byron Noem. Did you see any of this?
I saw the pictures and some of the memes. I think one of them is going to be our art for the episode.
Absolutely salivating. So evidently, Byron wasn't just sitting at home wondering how often Corey Lewandowski was plowing his wife for the past 2 decades, but rather he was spending his time exploring the more niche side of kink. Photos were leaked earlier this week of Byron cross-dressing, and while I raced to get a pen and paper to start putting my jokes down, it turns out there are different sects to this whole cross-dressing thing.
Is this like pedophilia again? Like, if you're attracted to 4-year-olds, it's one type of grouping. It's 7 to 12 is another.
Yes, but less gross, I guess. Less predatory.
You're doing a deep dive on a different levels of mimification, but you're not looking at advice to buy stocks. This podcast is ruining the both of us.
Yeah. So I actually just had this talk with a religious fanatic who informed me that he is not sending his young child to public school because of fear of drag queen story time.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's a real thing. It's a real thing.
He sent him to a Catholic camp where nothing bad has ever happened.
Yeah, and so this was my argument. He was like, it's just wrong to do it. And I was like, do you remember watching Miss Doubtfire when you were young? Isn't that technically a cross-dresser? And guarantee you saw the movie and loved it. He was like, it's different. I was like, does it make your wiener move? I was like, come on, just say Miss Doubtfire wasn't sexy. That's all I want you to say.
Like, these people just worry so much about trannies. Like, listen, man, that drag queen, that's their kink. Like, they love doing it, and they're just happy in their own skin. Like, I'm fine with it. This dude over here just railing about all kinds of policies and then just putting on a prosthetic set of breasts in his spare time.
So, to clarify, what Byron's into is called bimbofication. It's a real thing. Act or process of becoming a bimbo, which has evolved from a derogatory slur into a modern subculture focusing on hyperfemininity and the rejection of conventional girl boss hustle culture. Now, I like to think of us as fairly woke. This one was, when did girl boss culture like take over enough where you have to bimbify everything again?
Well, I think when I think of bibification, I think it's kind of like Mar-a-Lago face, but on a budget. Like they're trying to go after a whole look, like super female, like busted lips, giant hoo-has, and everything else, but like they're doing it all wrong and not very nicely.
I want to do enough surgery so I no longer look like the same species I currently am, but also want to marry somebody who is strictly into children between the ages of 9 and 14.
Sidebar real quick. Did you see the tweet by truthing by Trump about what's it called? Bruce Springsteen?
I did not see his actual one. I saw a clip of whatever it was where somebody was talking about going after the boss.
He was going after him, obviously, like washed up, sucks, yada yada, but he's like, he looks like he had plastic surgery gone wrong. I'm like, buddy, you are not allowed to say this.
Not a chance. There is not a chance that's true.
He's like, I was like, first of all, like, that man still is aging gracefully. It's amazing how good he looks. The fact that he did the whole show in Minneapolis, like, it's great. But as someone as Trump in the Trumposphere in Mar-a-Lago, where they have Mar-a-Lago face, you shouldn't be able to go after anyone else's plastic surgeon.
Springsteen, who I'm everybody's a Springsteen fan. I'm not one of
no
those.
One guy not.
Yeah. I'm not. Well, he was at one point because Springsteen said, "Do not ever play this song again at one of your Klan rallies." So he was at one point. Springsteen. I went and saw Springsteen for the first time a year ago, and all I can assume is that it's because Trump was in office. Did not play "Born in the USA."
Well, there's a couple of things. "Born in the USA" isn't a very cheery song. It's like "Fortunate Son" isn't a song about a guy who hits the lottery.
I agree, but that would be like seeing Metallica and they're like, we're going to play everything except Enter Sandman.
Yeah, you boys are getting the Load album. Like, what the hell?
B-sides only, fellas.
Like, you got to do puppets.
And then all the Trumpers are just there like, play, give me fuel.
When did this band become so woke? Rage Against the Machine never used to be like this.
Why are my favorite bands always talking about the things I do?
Yeah. Why do they care about people? They weren't like this in the past.
All right, so bimbification. Byron's kink is to dress up like a Barbie doll, complete with a fake set of tiggle bitties. And while I make it a habit not to kink shame, different strokes, different folks, so on and so forth, I do reserve the right to crucify hypocrisy. I would like to know what the difference is between everything Kristi Noem has ever said about the LGBTQ, the rest of the letters community, and what her life partner is doing this whole time. It makes zero sense to me.
Yeah, but honestly, I have no problems with him doing it. He's doing it in his spare time. It's Hunter Biden's laptop all over again. Like, guy's not part of a government. Dude, you do your thing. I don't care. You're not hurting anybody. You're not taking insider info, placing Kalshi bets. But it's the fact that you're married to Kristi Noem, man. It's the fact that you're out there and this broad's made life for so many people miserable. You are collateral damage. Just like we've been bombing these boats and we have collateral damage, you're collateral damage on this one. That's on you, big homie.
Yeah, you married the hate goblin, and she deserves zero peace over this. We should just be nailing her to that cross they love to put around their necks. However, Kristi,
I do want to jump in. I read a little bit about this. Like, he's apparently, he's like an insurance salesman or something in like a little small town, middle of nowhere. He's like, we're old fashioned and it's as easy as apple pie. And they're like talking to his friends, and apparently his neighbors, most of them are cool about it. Like, yeah, we just need to give him time and space to figure out their stuff. And he's a really good guy. And one guy's like, man, that's AI. He's like, I know the guy. He's like, he's not like that. He's like, buddy, that closet's big enough to fit a lot of demons.
I believe Jason Aldean told us this wasn't supposed to happen in a small town.
Yeah. We don't do that in a small church. Like, that's exactly where you do it.
So, Christy Gnome's spokesperson said she's asking for privacy and prayers in this difficult time.
No.
And I feel it's the perfect moment to ask for clarification on what exactly makes Republicans the moral majority they love pounding their chest about so much. Rest in peace, Cricket.
Like, I'm glad Trayvon's dead. Oh, give me those Skittles. F these guys. Like, my husband cross-dresses. Like, I need time to deal with all these issues. Please don't come at me.
Yeah, I love it. And you're like, no, we want America the way it used to be. You're like, well, unfortunately, in Mayberry, Andy Griffith is banging kids right now, so you don't get to be the authority on on what your they them purple haired Starbucks employees doing. Okay, we're all S people.
Like, what's it
Some
called?
are just worse than others.
I read one thing. It's someone like essing on the boomers. He's like, yeah, they're talking about the good old days and how it used to be. He's like, yeah, you mother effers used to be able to smoke on airplanes. You could buy a house with just a regular one job, and college was affordable. You guys screwed all that away.
Yeah, 100%. And it all started with Ronald Reagan. So keep waiting for that trickle down.
It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. I promise you. Also, breaking news, Pam Bondi just got axed for botching the Epstein files and pretty much everything else she's touched over the past 15 months. So, way to go. We're back to first term purging.
Yeah.
Just like with Gnome last month, word is Bondi is being moved to another position that will be just as real as the FIFA Peace Prize and whatever award Mike Johnson just made up to give our orange leader last week. Tweet of the day from Danny W. Goodwin. What if Pam Bondi's husband has even bigger tits?
I mean, you don't show up like with the president, like to the oral arguments for revoking an amendment in the Constitution and then just get bodied. Did you hear about some of the arguments John Sauer was doing?
I heard a couple of clips where even his handpicked judges were just beating him to death.
Yes. So there is one. It's what's it called? Like, Trump's telling us the reason we need to get rid of this is because Chinese billionaires with 56 kids are making American citizens. So John Sauer, he's the one who done a lot of cases for the White House, but he argued that a sprawling industry of birth tourism has led to uncounted thousands of foreigners from potentially hostile nations. That's exactly. He's saying that Iranian kids are coming here and being birthed. And what's it called? He's like, we're in a new world here where 8 billion people are one plane ride away from having a child who's a U.S. citizen. And John Roberts, who a lot of people think is conservative as hell, he said, well, it is a new world. It's the same Constitution.
I did hear that one. Did you hear the fun little Native American question?
Oh, about asking them, it's like, should we ask them?
Yeah, he was like, are Native Americans considered American citizens? And they're like, I'd have to look into that. And they're like, it's in their name.
We're actually thinking about deporting those guys too. They sit on a lot of oil.
Which is weird, because we made sure when we put them in certain places, there was nothing there that could grow.
Do you know how many casinos they have that we can bankrupt? Like, buddy.
Like, we greenlanded them in the first place. Now we need the space back.
That was a march of happy tears because they're going to a whole lot of oil. We need to take that back.
I love it. Gross.
But again, one of the things that we do here is we try to end the Thursday podcast on a good note. So let's take it to a tropical place called Hawaii, a little area called Waikiki for those who know. And for anyone joining us who's a big Trump voter, Hawaii is an island. It is not attached to America, but it is still part of it. So Hussein Obama was born there, but it's still in the U.S. And just like us, they also have a No Kings rally over weekend when a bunch of paid protesters, again, were appealing to our Trumper crowd, marched around a sign that said No Kings. And we did not get into this, but the signs from a No King rallies, like chef's kiss. Yeah. And if you guys haven't had a chance to look at them, like, you need to just go ahead and Google a bunch of those. Because, again, gay people and left-leaning people are artistic as hell, and those people can make some awesome signs.
Yeah, a couple of them were some thinkers. A couple of them were just plain old hilarious. And yeah, I don't know. I'm sure Trump can have his own. All the maggots can have their own rally where they'll just smear S on signs with barbecue sauce or something. Like, foreigners bad.
I mean, all they
I
do is
hate
just
spicy food.
I keep making AI videos of him dressed as a king and S-ing like out of a jet, just throwing S onto the American people. Like, okay, fair enough, that's your flex.
Can you imagine Obama releasing a video like that?
Yeah, while wearing a beige suit, like, oh, an American piece of S.
Ugh.
So we told you it's going to be a good ending to it, and I'll get to it right now because a man dressed like an ICE agent was beat up at a No Kings protest. So I don't know, man. Like, I'll give him credit, like the little baby fascist on like the balls that you have. You're like, I'm gonna put on my ICE stuff and I'm gonna walk on to this No Kings protest, and that's the last place you want to take it in there. And I do have a question. Well, like, why do you impersonate ICE? Like, to get an ICE uniform right now, it's a whole lot easier than getting a McDonald's job. Like, McDonald's, you come in, you got an interview, then you got to take a bunch of tests. With ICE, like, yeah, man, just come in. You want to fail this open no test? Like, we'll still put you out there. You can get an authentic ICE uniform a whole lot quicker.
I'm under the impression ICE agents have to buy their own gear. Is that true?
No, they might give
I'm
them
almost
some.
positive I read that somewhere where they're
I know
supposed
in
to be
the
providing their own gear, or maybe it's theirs because there's no uniform because they're not
well,
standard issuing all these skinny jeans.
Well, it's because just like the Delta operators, we need custom stuff for themselves. Whereas basic military units have that one uniform for everything, Delta operator level ICE guys need nothing but tactical gear, a pair of Oakley wraparound sunglasses, and enough magazines to kill 17 million Alex Preddies.
And don't forget that little face covering.
Now they want to put it on. Like, I'm a
Yeah.
sheepdog. Ooh, cloth masks.
I'm less concerned about nanobots and more concerned about my kids and relatives hating me.
Buddy, you drink Bush Lights and smoke Camel Unfiltered. Like, stop it. That vaccine's not what's going to do you in.
I guarantee you more ICE agents smoke menthol and like Pall Mall. Not even good.
God, Pall Malls are disgusting. But I did go to the, what's it called, to get a little bit other side. I did go to the Fox News website. I was like, oh, I want to see what this one is. And they did the whole basic, like, oh, crimes against ICE agents are up 13,000%. Like, yeah, because you're killing American citizens, so yeah, that's to be expected. But they did have a whole thing that the Hawaiian protests were actually not no king protests, but they were no dictator because Hawaii originally had kings before, so they kind of want to respect the culture. So kudos to Hawaii, and kudos to the one person who still does actual factual stuff over at Fox for getting a tidbit in there.
Yeah, I would still fact check it against Snopes just to make sure that's right, because I trust Fox like I do the syphilis at an orgy, but at least they clarified. Good for them.
They had it. Nobody else had it in there. I found it kind of interesting. So it is what it is. But I think we had a pretty good episode. We're getting these things closer to an hour than half an hour now. But again, this administration moves fast and breaks things, and so do we. I'm Alex Midway.
And I'm Eric Halsey.
Daddy, chill.
Later, Gators.